This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
He's going to give back to the school. We've got problems. Justin Allgaier getting around as he was trying to avoid the 7 of A.J. Henriksen. Henriksen was running in the 3rd position. We see Dexter Bean in the 6th, and now the melee taking place behind all of that.
There's a 75 right there. Billy Tanner around. There's a lot of damage to A.J. Henriksen's car. That's a team car to Bobby Gerhardt's right there. The
adjustment to that. Let's take another look at what took place on our first caution here.
Looked like Mario Goslin got in the back of A.J. Henriksen. And then there's the 22. It looked like of Josh Wise going around. Somebody ran in the back of him.
This one just spins him around. Mario goes spinning around, but I think there was some contact later on here.
Yeah, that wasn't damage. He's got to get hit another time in the right front area.
Yeah, he still hasn't been hit yet.
Well, this is an interesting track position right here.
This is a bit of a wide here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a wide. Stevens wanting to go. I was hoping he wasn't going to put that 51 car in the middle right now. But
Brian Silas, as we look over to trouble. There's Stephen Wallace spinning around. Gets caught in the front end. Continues to spin.
Looks like Billy Venturini possibly came along and clipped him.
Second caution of the day comes out. Stephen Wallace getting turned around going through the tri-oval.
I think this is that situation, Kenny, where you might as well not plan much on having anything to race at Talladega. Huh? It was right. Billy Venturini. Tough break for Billy. We saw him slow early in the race, and that's what put him basically at the back of the pack. See Stevens on the outside in the 61 car. Goes right up to, he just gets loose up there.
Boy, it kind of looked like he might have cut a tire or something.
Yeah, you don't really get loose in that part of the racetrack, but some pretty hard contact for Steve Wallace.
Built the damage from the 11.
Just riding along and blows a right front tire out. Obviously probably ran over some debris from the accident with Steve Wallace, but watch the damage you're going to see. That's all that damage came from cutting a tire down and that rubber thrashing about.
David Lutzke, another one of those drivers looking to find sponsorship to continue throughout the season. He's got 2 wins in this series. Oh, and we got problems with the number 14.
Michael Falk, the 14. Oh, trouble. There's Josh Wise, the 22.
More cars involved. They're coming off the racetrack.
Had the 24 right there, Benny Chastain. There's Justin South right there. The 8 of Brian Kahns was involved in that.
That got messy.
There's Justin South right here. We're on board his car. See him back off a little bit. It looks like that was the 14 into the wall, and there's a 22 sideways in the middle of the racetrack. Josh Wise, Justin South had nowhere to go, ran into the back of the 62 of Chad McCumbee.
Engine off. Silence as you come to a stop there in the grass.
Turn. Then you got a problem.
It's a little flatter.
You can't enter that there on the turn, so it's just a good rule.
See, Bill Barrett's got a little bit of flapping on the right rear there as he tucks in behind the 46 of Frank Kim. Oh, up the wall. Looks like a cut right front tire.
Yes, it did.
The 94 of Brad Coleman gets into the wall hard.
Yeah, that car just shot straight across the racetrack. Very, very fortunate that nobody else is involved. And the very tail end of the field now is going by on the inside, so this will be a 1-car accident, but obviously a broken suspension or a flat right front tire for Brad Coleman. What a...
It's good, and then it'll take off here in just a second, and there's nothing he can do right there.
Just go straight across the racetrack. Absolutely nothing he could do. When that thing took off to the right, he turned the wheel as hard as he could to the left, and doesn't make any difference. It just keeps on going.
All right.
Side by side to the lead, you see the 12 of Mario Goslin get a little bit loose. Then he slid up the hill, tried to keep his car off of the 5 of Bobby Gerhardt. Watch this. You see him get loose. Bobby gives him plenty of room. Just fighting for control. Gets into the outside wall. Keeps it up there. Tough break for Mario Goslin.
Tough break. He just plain got loose when Bobby was on the outside of him, but did a good job of keeping that thing a single car incident and keeping his car up against the wall.
Jason Edleski in the 08.
Yeah, this is it right here. This is just, he's going to get a little bit loose there. Watch.
Jeremy Clement's been good all day too, right there in the 3-car in third spot.
There's David Reagan right there, the 39.
Oh.
Aaron Crocker.
Aaron Crocker into the infield.
Caution flag is not out yet. We're going to see if Aaron can get her car going. Right there.
Lesky is right behind her.
A little chain reaction there. Somebody didn't go, and unfortunately Aaron got hit.
And that basically is going to ruin Jason's car.
And the speeds are back down to 60 miles an hour as the caution has come back out at Daytona International Speedway. Is the 11 of Brian Silas. A lot of damage to that car prior to this most recent caution, but Brian Silas got turned around and had some problems. It looks like the right front tire down on that already.
Yeah, the sway bar arm is dragging the racetrack. That's where all the sparks are coming from. There's a crush panel that there's an aluminum panel or a steel panel that goes between that roll bar and the outside body to keep that stuff from flying in the car. But obviously when you bend the side like that, it crushes that panel, and that allows all this debris and sparks and everything to get inside the car. And
what happened?
That's him in the 11 car right there, right behind 34. He gets a little bit loose, drives down off the racetrack, and normally here you go back up the racetrack, and he did make some contact with the outside wall, and fortunately only one car involved in this accident, so some good heads-up driving by that car right behind him.
By himself, the only Roush Racing development driver in the field, but Ruler Brothers have put a great car underneath him. This car had taken 4 tires under lap 30 pit stops. They are just waiting their time. Time is now, of course, but they've been waiting all day for their opportunity to get in the top 5. They've been hanging to this point. Let's see what they got.
Oh, we got problems. Damon Lusk comes down. A hard hit. The number 9 gets spun around. That's Tim Russell into the wall hard.
Boy,
Damon Lusk was trying to come down. Frank Kimmel was just behind him.
I saw that coming, didn't you, Kenny?
Well, I didn't see it, but when you grabbed my arm, I knew something was going on.
That's a hard hit for Tim Russell right there. That's Matt Hagan's number 9 car.
Take a look at what took place then.
See Damon, the 55, he's going to pull back down, and see Frank really couldn't go any lower because the 31 of Timothy Peters was on the inside. Damon probably didn't realize that it was going to make it a 3-wide situation. If Frank Kimmel had not had somebody on the inside of him, Damon would have been able to drive down like that. They would have had plenty of room. Here's another look at it. You see Timothy Peters at the very last instant.
As they come through the gears, the green and white flag in the air. It's Bobby Gerhart going through the gears. Mark Mitchell right behind him. Jeremy Clements, David Reagan, Scott Lagasse Jr. Your top 5. Then it's Timothy Peters trying to get that jump. Let's see if it works out for him. As they go into turn number 1, a little contact. Jeremy Clements in the back of Mark Mitchell.
They get them all seized up there. That's going to keep them all behind Bobby Gerhart.
And look at the run Frank Kimmel is having on the outside. Down the back stretch they go, trying to come up through the gears.
Remember, this is the same car that Frank Kimmel won at Talladega with.
Kimmel on the outside. He's got no help. He starts to drift back. It's Gerhart, Mark Mitchell. 1 and 2, nose to tail. Can Mark Mitchell make anything happen in the final 3 and 4? Bobby Gerhart out to a 2-car lead as he works his way through 4 into the tri-oval, and it will be number 5 for Bobby Gerhart. Gerhart winning at Daytona again.
What a great job on Bobby Gerhart. He put so much emphasis on this race, even though he runs for the championship, and he gets his 5th win here.
Unbelievable run. 5 wins for Bobby Gerhart at Daytona. As Bobby Gerhart brings the car to a little bit slower speed, we will talk to him tonight at 10:30. So Bobby Gerhart, our winner at Daytona for the first race of the season. Now, NASCAR Race Day.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a paid advertisement for The Magic Bullet, brought to you by Homeland Housewares.